The Timburr evolution line is so weird. We're rating them all, and it's even weird stat-wise. It's slow with bad defenses, yet it has great HP and attack, which is difficult to make use of. But to be fair, both of its abilities are pretty amazing in their own way. And Little Timburr's move pool is fine, nothing amazing, but also doesn't really get anything to take advantage of sheer force. Very weird one to place in battle. I'll go with 3.5 stars. You can tell we're still in the early part of the decks though, because you can get Timburr before the 2nd or 3rd gym in Unova, its sequel, and Galar, but you can't get it until after the 7th gym and the Evil Team Showdown in Kalos, which will bring its availability down to 4 stars. This line sure is unique conceptually though, even if a bit odd. They seem to be people things. They're construction workers doubling as almost clowns or carnies and have way too much time on their hands for the gym. Unique enough, but again, why are we making people Pokemon? 2.5 stars. And hey, at least in design, Timburr is the least disgusting out of the 3. I know it too has the giant bulging varicose veins, and I don't know if this makes any sense, but they don't come off as gross here as evolutions. And I also really don't like the idea of Pokemon coming with perfectly similar objects. It like kind of breaks the continuity or something in my brain. But with all that said, I surprisingly don't mind Timburr at all. It's fine. 3 stars. Which means, oh no, another 3.125 star final score. That spot is getting very crowded. And I'm sorry, but Gurdurr is such an off-putting Pokemon. We're rating them all, and well, regardless, it's pretty solid in battle. It does still have the weird stat spread of focusing on HP and attack, but now at least its defenses have caught up. So as long as you avoid special attacks, it's kind of awesome. Both of its abilities are fantastic, and its move pool is also quite a bit better by adding moves like Bulk Up, Rock Slide, and Hammer Arm. Its damage output potential is nuts, but you do have to be careful. And with it being a trait evolution, we do have to judge it through the end of the game, where it is of course not nearly as good. 4 stars. Availability will stay Timburr's 4 stars, and it is again fairly unique in concept, basically being an actual dude working 2 jobs like the rest of us in this economy. It's a construction worker and a muscle man carny clown on the side, which is such a weird idea for a Pokemon. 2.5 stars. But oh my god, this thing looks so bad. As I said with Timburr, I'm really not a fan of Pokemon carrying objects from the world. Like, does it come with a steel beam, or did it steal one from its job? But that's more of a joke than the problem. The problem is the giant disgusting veins all over this humanoid monstrosity with a lumpy head and a clown nose. This is one of those situations where how bad it looks completely overrules the whole portraying the concept thing. I cannot believe people even voted 3 stars on this. I can't give it anything over 1.5 stars in design, which does construct Gurdurr the final score with 3 stars overall and a spot on the bottom 5. I think we all understand that Gen 5 was the intentional Gen 1 reboot, and sure, Machamp wasn't the best looking Pokemon, but what is this thing? We're rating them all, and it may be a monstrosity to look at, but it is equally as monstrous in battle. 140 attack, 105 HP, and even 95 in defense. Sure, it's slow, but it has more than enough bulk to make up for that, and both of its abilities are actually insane to have on a Pokemon this strong. It doesn't get too many moves to take advantage of sheer force, but still, a pretty solid move pool all around with setup and plenty of damage output. I was really on the fence here because it's kind of screwed against any special attacker, but since it's a trait evolution, you can very realistically have this thing at like level 25, which is just insane, so it'll get 5 stars. But that does have its consequences. Since so many people lack the technology or friends to make a trade, these trade evolutions get -1 star on availability. 3 stars. But as we've gone over in its pre-evolutions videos, it's a very human-like creature that really goes hard on the bit by having 2 jobs, just like the rest of us nowadays. It's a construction worker and a carnival clown that's now gotten older. So weird. I'm cool with bipedal Pokemon and even the anthropomorphic animals, but please stop making actual people Pokemon. So weird. 2.5 stars in concept. But hey, at least in design, it isn't as off-putting as Gurdurr, but it is equally as strange. Now, the bulging varicose veins seem to have somewhat shrunk down to an almost like safety harness pattern, playing into its construction worker theme, which is a very odd way to do that. And again, does it come with its giant stone pillars upon evolution, or does it steal them from its job site? Well, apparently neither. They actually mix it themselves, according to the Pokedex. Again, this is a person, and that's really weird. You guys voted this thing 5 stars in design? What are we even doing? Why? This thing looks so bad. I cannot give this creepy buff construction worker clown Pokemon more than 2 stars in design. I'm at a loss for words with these polls, man. Conkeldurr gets, oh my god, not another 3.125 star rating. I'm legit running out of room on this bottom 5 slot.